It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Jen Cohen as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Hello and welcome to Countywide. I'm your host, Jen Cohen. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about Keep Sedona Beautiful. We have with us today Michael Yarbrough, who is the president of the KSB, and Nancy Spinelli, who is the chair of the Native Plant Workshop. I know you've heard of that. It's coming up again. This is the 39th annual great program. We're going to talk about that as well as Keep Sedona Beautiful. Check out keepsedonabeautiful.org. That's the website we'll be referring to today. Lots and lots. Beautiful website, great information there. keepsedonabeautiful.org. Good morning,
Good
Michael
morning.
and Nancy. Pleasure to have you today.
Thank you.
Now, Keep Sedona Beautiful has been around for a little while. Is that correct, Mike?
Yes, we just celebrated our 45th anniversary and had the mayor come to our award ceremony and provide us a proclamation declaring it Keep Sedona Beautiful Day. So it's a 501c3 charitable organization with a mission to preserve the historic beauty of this area. So it's a mission that's hard to argue with.
That's true.
It started, if I could give you a little background, in 1972. The Arizona Republic wrote an article and referred to Sedona as a honky-tonk town.
Okay.
And I don't know how easy it is to see this, but this is a picture of Sedona. There are billboards and litter and things just strewing the beautiful Red Rock area. So a group of citizens of Sedona got together, formed Keep Sedona Beautiful in 1972. And they started a couple of programs that are just really critical that are ongoing. One is a sign ordinance to try to clear up some of the clutter of the signs. And then they had a covered load ordinance, and they started a program called Litter Lifters. And I don't know, there are volunteers that now control about 70 miles of roadway in Sedona and the Verde Valley area, go out regularly for free as a volunteer and pick up litter on the highway. And that has continued and has expanded over the years. So those bedrock things became kind of the foundation of Keep Sedona Beautiful.
Which makes perfect sense. As a booming tourist town, you know, the signs for all the businesses would be popping up. The litter would be popping up like crazy. I had no idea Litter Lifters was around that long. Yeah,
I don't know the number of volunteers. There are people who have dedicated, you know, they have their section of the roadway that they love and that they go out every month, and they've done it for years and years and years. And that's through Sedona, it's down to the village of Oak Creek, it's down to 17 into the interstate and out near Cottonwood here. So it's a wide area that they cover, and it's a terrific program.
Absolutely, does an incredible job. I mean, think about it, without Litter Lifters, what the sides of our roads would look like. It would be a very different world.
And just like with graffiti begets graffiti, and litter begets litter. I mean, if you see litter on the highway, there's something in the back of your mind that says, oh, well, that must be okay. And so keeping it pristine and neat it's that beautiful drive from 17 up 179 to Sedona, or coming in from Cottonwood, you know, into Sedona, where when you don't see trash on the highway in the back of your mind, it just makes it more beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
So,
now, if somebody wants to volunteer to be part of Litter Lifters, they go through the website, Keep Sedona Beautiful?
Yes, that's a Keep Sedona Beautiful program. There's a couple of people, Bill Pumphrey and Carla Williams, who head up that program, and we actually need a couple of people, as there are some birthday-related events, as they say, that have led to some volunteers needing to back off of it. So if anybody's interested in doing it, you get, you know, cool stuff to wear, and it's a real service. People just love doing it, and if people are interested, contact keepsedonabeautiful.org, and we'll hook them up.
Awesome, and it's outside. Perfect time of year, lovely weather. Of course, it's exercise, but only moderate exercise, so it's good for everybody.
So could I talk about a couple of other programs?
Yes, please do.
So that was kind of what Keep Sedona Beautiful started with. We have a number of programs that are ongoing. Another one that has been very popular and has been going on for years and years is the speaker series. The second Wednesday of every month, a speaker comes to Keep Sedona Beautiful. It's free. You do not have to be a member. You can look in Kudos or the Scene or the website to find out who's speaking. We'll have people speaking on astronomy, geology, birds, something related to the environment. It's a free program. Joanne Vandeveer runs it for Keep Sedona Beautiful, and it's a really popular program, free hors d'oeuvres, and really interesting speakers. So that's the second Wednesday of every month. Sedona is the 8th city internationally to be designated a dark sky community. The dark sky program that Joanne Kendrick has started, when you get a wide shot, I have a picture of the Milky Way in front of the table here. Keeping the dark skies dark is just so critical. It's critical for astronomy, but it's also critical for just people, residents and visitors coming in and saying, wow, these skies are spectacular. This is one of the last places you'll be able to see the Milky Way in 10 years. So getting lighting ordinances. We're moving from Sedona to the village of Oak Creek, talking to Cottonwood, talking to a lot of communities to try and have downward facing light only what you need, only as light as you need, and having the right fixtures to preserve the dark skies. Speaker series, Dark Skies. I know Nancy's going to talk about the Native Plant Workshop. We have an Awards of Excellence program where pretty much on an annual basis we will pick out individuals and businesses and community organizations that have done exemplary work to preserve the scenic beauty of the area, either by architecture, landscaping, community involvement, and give them awards. We just had ours in January of this year. And we have a noise abatement program. We are trying, if you've seen helicopters flying in the area, some of them, as this picture shows, fly too low. We're trying to get an FAA advisory that advises people to fly higher become mandatory, so we're working on that. We're also working on community groups with off-highway vehicles, drones, anything that impact the noise in the area. So those are some of the ongoing things. We have a number of projects that come up. For example, the city of Sedona has asked us to help them evaluate sites for wireless infrastructure. If they need to build a tower, they're required to do that by federal law, but they wanted our input about where they should go. Can they be as scenic as possible? So we try to work with the city, the Forest Service, Chamber of Commerce to work together. The motto of Keep Sedona Beautiful originally was Keep Sedona Beautiful. It's good business. It's good. It's good for everybody to keep this place beautiful.
That's true. It is. We're going to take a short break. Absolutely. But we'll be right back talking about Keep Sedona Beautiful. We're talking with Michael Yarbrough and Nancy Spinelli. We'll be right back.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool. Oh, yeah. Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
back to Countywide. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Jen Cohen. We're speaking with Michael Yarbrough, who is the president of Keep Sedona Beautiful, and we also have with us Nancy Spinelli, who is the chair of the Native Plant Workshop. Before we ran off to break, Mike, we opened the door on cell towers in Sedona and the involvement with Keep Sedona Beautiful. What is your involvement with the cell towers?
Real briefly, there's a federal law that requires any municipality to allow companies to build out their infrastructure. And so the city of Sedona and other municipalities around here don't have a lot. They can't say, no, you can't build a tower. So if somebody's going to build a tower, the city has worked with their regulations and also asked us to help them evaluate what, like, city-owned property would be most suitable, and to try to get the provider to, there are ways that you can build them on existing structures or have them look like trees, to mask them a little bit so they don't look like some ugly tower sitting out in the field. Yes. So that we're trying to work with the city and the providers to, in our mission, to try and pick the best place to put them to provide service to people, but also not to have it look unsightly.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. I've seen the one in Phoenix that looks like palm trees, so I'm excited to see the ones that look like pine trees.
Yes, you don't want a palm tree in Sedona.
No, that would be weird.
But a pine tree, yeah, might be better.
Speaking of palm trees in Sedona and native plants, palm trees are not native, is that correct?
No, they are not.
So tell us about the upcoming Native Plant Workshop. So that's happening on April 7th at the West Sedona School. This is your 39th annual?
Yes, yes.
Fantastic.
So that's a week from Saturday. So please register by going to keepsedonabeautiful.org. We have 2 keynote speakers. This year we got Viva La Verde, which is a local movie about our Verde River and what we can do to try to help preserve it, since it's so important to the area. You get the 2 keynotes, and then you have a choice of 6 workshops. You get to pick 2 out of those, and they're an hour long each. Bash's has generously donated muffins for our breakfast savories. Wildflower Bread Company has donated sandwiches and cookies for our lunch. Wow. So it is a well-run organization, let's put it that way.
Absolutely. So we have speakers, and what are some of the subjects that the speakers are going to be covering?
Oh, we are talking about monarch way stations. Denise Gibbs is going to be there, and she's actually going to bring in the little items that you can put in your garden to grow milkweeds and have draw in your butterflies. We have Jason Lavelle, who is a member of the Arizona Botanical Gardens. He's been there for 20 years. So he's going to talk about xeriscaping. Again, the concern about water and using native plants in your yard. Max Leischer is going to do a little walkabout, taking you and showing you what's right here in the school area with native plants. Eric Moore, who is the owner of Jay's Bird Barn, is going to talk about landscaping to attract birds to your yard. Gary Neal is going to talk to us about lichens, which is something that he has studied extensively and is working on a special project with the Forest Service. So he'll be there. And then Jeff Schlau is going to talk about environmentally friendly pest management.
Nice.
We do not want Roundup in our community. So here's some other ways of taking care of those pesky little critters.
Fantastic. What a great thing, bringing this to the community, you know, to help keep Sedona beautiful. Obviously how that works in there. I mean, sounds like to me the mission is to help everyone understand how to work with our native environment here.
Well, we're trying to bring it in because we get a lot of new people in the area. So here's a way for them to understand what we have and what you can do to keep the environment and still have it look nice. Hattie Braun, who is one of our keynote speakers, is going to talk about how you can unleash your garden's wild side so that you can use native plants but still have it look nice, not like it's a weed patch.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's what my neighbors say my yard looks like. But I tell them it's flowers. They go, no, it's weeds. And I tell them it's native, and they go, they're weeds. You know.
Weeds are only weeds if you don't want them there.
Ah, so excellent. Thank you, Nancy. I'm going to use that. Now, all of this is based around sustainability for our area. Is that correct? Everything that the organization does and the plant workshop does, it helps create sustainability.
We're a co-founder of the Sustainability Alliance, and so sustainability is certainly includes native plants in the workshop, but it is preserving the trails, but it's also recycling, and it's the whole protecting the whole area, citywide and forest-wide.
Yes,
that's enormous. That's an enormous thing to do.
And Earth Day is coming up well, we're celebrating it the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So the Sustainability Alliance has created a special map so that you can just go to that map and it will have little buttons for every event that's going on in the Verde River Valley. So you can click on, and Keep Sedona Beautiful is doing a program Friday night from 4 to 5:30 where they're having 4 speakers talk on various elements of what we can do to help preserve. So Earth Day is coming up. So do check out the Earth Day extravaganza. You can go to vvearthday.com and that will give you the map.
vvearthday.com.
I believe that's the
map
correct
of all
one.
the events that are happening around Earth Day.
And if you have an event, please contact them. There's a click that you can put on there to add an event. So again, we're trying to make this as informative as possible for everyone.
Wow, absolutely. It sounds great. Mike, you mentioned Trails program. How is Keep Sedona Beautiful involved in the Trails program?
Well, when I first started, the Forest Service comes out with a Coconino Forest Plan, and it's with environmental statements. It's about 2,000 pages. We looked at that, and we were one of the only organizations. We provided 58 pages of comments to the Forest Service with a lot of volunteer time, and a lot of that is preserving the trails. We make a financial contribution, as does the Chamber and a lot of people. There's a lot of organizations, Friends of the Forest, that help with that. But keeping our trails well marked and preserved so people stay on the trails and not get off, and help rebuild the trails is a key part of what we do in helping the forest and the Forest Service.
And that's huge. I mean, the hundreds of thousands of people a year come to Sedona to hike.
And they comment on how well marked the trails are compared to some other areas. And that takes a lot of work. The Forest Service does yeoman's work. There's Friends of the Forest. There's a lot of organizations. But Keep Sedona Beautiful is an integral part of that too.
And the folks that you use for that, volunteers as well?
Yes, yes. Again, Friends of the Forest goes out. That's another organization, but they go out and do actually trail maintenance, and that's hard work. But there are volunteers needed for that. And contacting the Friends of the Forest would be a good way to volunteer for that work
to do trail work.
There's graffiti removal. There's a lot of things.
Every other Thursday.
Every other Thursday. You've got the schedule down, Nancy.
Well, I'm on the graffiti committee too when I'm able to get out there and hike, and my husband is in charge of the signs. So he helps put those up.
It's a family affair. Oh, that's awesome. Well, we're going to take another short break, but we'll be right back with some more Countywide. We're talking with Michael Yarbrough, Nancy Spinelli, KeepSedonaBeautiful.org. Check it out.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley in Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here?
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Smokey. Only you can prevent wildfires.
And welcome back to Countywide. Just a few minutes left. We're talking with Nancy Spinelli, who's the chair of the Native Plant Fair Workshop. Native Plant Workshop. I just want to throw fair in there. It's my Pollyanna attitude. And Michael Yarbrough, who is the president of Keep Sedona Beautiful. KeepSedonaBeautiful.org. Great website. Check it out. Now, the Plant Workshop is coming up on Saturday, April 7th. That's correct, at the West Sedona School, but you do need to register. Very important.
Please, you can come and pay at the door, but it's an extra $10 just because that way, and you only get what's left as far as the availability. Like Max Leischer's Walkabout is already sold out. So please register so that you get your first choice of workshops.
Okay, and the way to do that would be to go to KeepSedonaBeautiful.org.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Super, Nancy. That sounds like an amazing event. Again.
Well, we have silent auction items that have been donated by the community. So again, if you want to check out the Mexican grass and the agave here, those were donated by Builders First Source. We have a lavender plant from Bee in the Garden.
Right.
There's all sorts of gift certificates, hand-decorated gourds that are exquisite. I mean, it's been really nice. The community really supports this.
Nice, well-rounded event. And speaking of the community, one of the things you guys do, you work with the Chamber of Commerce. You're on the Advisory Committee for Sustainable Tourism. Is that correct, Mike?
We were just asked that the Chamber is really focusing on sustainable tourism, and they've reached out to a number of organizations and asked Keep Sedona Beautiful to be a representative on that, where they're trying to do surveys of businesses, tourists, and residents to see what is sustainable, both economically, environmentally, culturally, in the tourism industry. And so, you know, Keep Sedona Beautiful it doesn't want to be viewed, and it's not some fringe environmental organization. It's, as I said, our motto is Keep Sedona Beautiful. It's good business. We're trying to work with the city, with the Chamber of Commerce, with the Forest Service. It's in everybody's interest to keep this area beautiful, and so being on advisory committees and being in on the ground floor to talk about issues before they become final decisions, we think is the best way to arrive at a decision that's best for everybody in the area.
Beautiful. Yeah, very well said. Yeah, everything that you do as part of Keep Sedona Beautiful affects every single person that visits Sedona, lives in Sedona, passes through Sedona. Everything that you do, so I really appreciate what you guys are doing for the area.
Thank you. And if you go back to the mission of keeping this area scenic, you can't disagree with that. Everybody might not agree with every position we take, but the overall mission and what we're trying to do is we believe in everybody's benefit. So
yeah, because it's real easy to, you know, screw it up.
Yes.
There's plenty of towns out there that have screwed it up, and we don't want that to happen in this area. We have such a vital area as far as the nature tourism goes, as far as the activities go, and you know, if we start messing that up with graffiti, say, I know that's a really big issue, Nancy, with litter, with you know, signage and the lights polluting the air. I mean, you guys must be so busy.
And it's why people come here. People come here because it's pristine and beautiful. And if that starts to erode, it hurts everybody.
Absolutely.
The business is first. So they know that too.
So let's keep Sedona beautiful.
I'm all for that.
Excellent, excellent. Mike Yarbrough is the president of Keep Sedona Beautiful. We also have Nancy Spinelli, who is the chair of the Native Plant Workshop. Check that out. It's happening on April 7th. Make sure that you've registered immediately. Check out KeepSedonaBeautiful.org. That's all the time we have left for Countywide. I'm Jen Cohen. We'll see you next time.